They taped a violation notice to my gate and threatened daily fines. They cited bylaws I'd never agreed to. They warned me I'd lose my home if I didn't comply. There was just one problem. My property had never been part of their HOA, and they were about to learn that the hard way. I'm not a confrontational person. I work as a structural engineer. Most of my life is drawings, load calculations, soil reports, and field inspections. I bought my property 5 years ago because it sat just outside the subdivision line, technically adjacent to it, but separate. No HOA dues, no architectural review boards, just county zoning and state code. I verified that before I signed anything. I remember reading the plat map twice at closing. My parcel number didn't fall within the recorded covenants. My deed had no reference to restrictions. I even asked the title company to confirm. They did. I like certainty. My property's simple. A modest house, a detached workshop, and a gravel side yard where I park my work trailer. The workshop is clean, organized. Concrete floor, steel racks, the hum of a table saw when I'm working, the smell of cut cedar and machine oil. I keep everything permitted. The first time she showed up, it was mid-morning on a Saturday. I was replacing fascia boards when I heard heels on gravel. She didn't introduce herself at first, she just looked around. Clipboard, sunglasses, tight smile. I'm Melissa Carter, president of the Ridgeview Homeowners Association. She gestured vaguely toward the neighborhood behind the tree line. I've received complaints about commercial activity. I wiped my hands on a rag. This isn't commercial, it's my personal workshop. She tilted her head. That trailer? Registered, insured, parked on my own parcel. She wrote something down. You'll want to review our community guidelines. We maintain standards. I'm not part of Ridgeview. She gave a thin smile. Everyone adjacent benefits from property values. That was the first time she used the word benefits like it was leverage. 2 days later, I found a violation notice taped to my gate. Unauthorized commercial vehicle, non-compliant structure use. Correct within 10 days or incur daily fine $150. It had the HOA logo at the top. No legal reference to my parcel number. No proof of jurisdiction. I didn't get angry. I scanned it, filed it, then I pulled my closing documents back out. Deed, clean. Covenants, none attached. County GIS map, my lot boundary ended 12 feet short of their recorded subdivision line. I emailed her politely. Melissa, my property is not subject to Ridgeview HOA covenants. Please remove my address from your enforcement list. Her reply came fast. All properties within the Ridgeview community perimeter fall under enforcement authority. Failure to comply will result in lien procedures. That was the first time she used the word lien. I drove to the county recorder's office the next morning. The clerk confirmed what I already knew. No restrictive covenants recorded on your parcel. You're outside the subdivision filing. I asked for certified copies. Then the visits started. She began stopping by weekly. Always phrased as concern. We've had reports. We're trying to maintain safety. The board is prepared to escalate. She would stand just inside my open gate, not quite stepping fully onto the property, close enough to feel invasive, not quite trespass. One afternoon, she brought a second board member. They walked the fence line, whispering, taking photos. I installed cameras that night. Not because I was afraid, because documentation matters. The third notice mentioned non-compliant structure use subject to architectural review. That crossed a line. Architectural Review Authority requires recorded covenants tied to a deed. Without that, it's just paper. I sent one final email. Cease enforcement attempts against parcel 471182. Further harassment will be documented. Her response was shorter this time. Daily fines begin Monday. That's when I realized this wasn't ignorance, it was escalation. And escalation, if unchecked, becomes something else. Something illegal. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe. Monday morning, I woke to the sound of metal clanging. Not wind, not accident. Metal against metal. I pulled up the camera feed on my phone before I even stepped outside. Melissa was inside my gate. inside, holding bolt cutters. The chain I used wasn't heavy-duty, it was symbolic, a clear boundary. She had already cut it. 2 other board members stood behind her, one filming. "I'm conducting an inspection under HOA authority," she said loudly, almost theatrically, as if rehearsed. My cameras captured everything, time-stamped, audio included. I stepped outside calmly. "You're trespassing," I said. She didn't look at me. "You are subject to enforcement action under Ridgeview bylaws." "I am not." She walked toward my workshop door. That was the moment she crossed from overreach to crime. I called the non-emergency sheriff's line. I didn't yell, I didn't threaten, I simply stated, "Individuals claiming HOA authority have cut a locked gate and entered private property without legal jurisdiction." Deputies arrived within 15 minutes, professional, neutral. Melissa tried to hand her her binder of HOA bylaws. One deputy asked the only question that mattered. "Ma'am, can you provide recorded documentation that this parcel is within your association?" She hesitated. "It's within the neighborhood." That's not what I asked. I handed the deputy certified copies of my deed and the subdivision plat. He compared parcel numbers, then he looked at her. "Ma'am, this property is not subject to your HOA." She stiffened. "That's impossible." "It's recorded at the county," he replied. They cited her for criminal trespass and destruction of property for the cut chain. Misdemeanor, but real. She doubled down anyway. That afternoon, she emailed the entire Ridgeview mailing list, claiming I had threatened board members and was operating illegally. That email was forwarded to me by 3 neighbors. I saved it. Defamation, when documented, has consequences. I retained an attorney the next day, not to retaliate, to contain. We sent a formal cease and desist letter to the HOA board. It included certified property boundary records, incident report number from the sheriff, notice of intent to pursue civil damages for trespass and slander. The response from their attorney was slower this time, measured, concerned. 2 weeks later, I received something new, a notice of lien filing attempt, filed improperly, against the wrong parcel. They were trying to force authority through paperwork intimidation, but liens require standing, and standing requires jurisdiction. They had neither. My attorney filed a petition for declaratory judgment, formal court recognition that my property was not and had never been part of Ridgeview HOA. We also filed a claim for damages. The hearing date was set. Melissa didn't stop. She sent one more violation notice, this time certified mail. Daily fines $3,450 accumulated. She believed repetition created legitimacy, but repetition without authority creates evidence, and evidence, when organized, becomes inevitable. The court date loomed. She didn't realize she was walking into it already trapped. The courtroom was quiet. No theatrics, no raised voices, just records. My attorney presented first. Certified plat maps projected on screen, county recorder testimony, my deed, the HOA's recorded covenants clearly outlining parcel numbers included in Ridgeview. Mine wasn't there. Then came the camera footage, clear video of bolt cutters severing my gate chain, Melissa announcing inspection authority, deputies confirming lack of jurisdiction. The judge didn't interrupt much. He didn't need to. Then the email blast was entered into record, her claim that I had threatened board members. The judge asked one question. "Do you have evidence supporting that statement?" Silence. The ruling was straightforward. Declaratory judgment granted. My property formally recognized as outside HOA authority. Immediate dismissal of all violation claims. Order to remove any attempted lien filings. Damages awarded. Property damage reimbursement. Legal fees. Additional civil penalty for malicious filing. But the real consequence came later. Ridgeview's next HOA meeting was packed. Word travels when someone overreaches. Neighbors had seen the patrol cars weeks earlier. They had heard about the lawsuit. The HOA's attorney presented the court ruling. Clear, final. Melissa tried to speak. A homeowner stood and asked, "How much of our dues paid for this?" Another asked, "Have we done this to anyone else?" A motion was made, vote of no confidence. It passed. She was removed as president that night. An internal audit followed. The association implemented new enforcement verification procedures requiring recorded jurisdiction confirmation before issuing violations. Systems corrected. Quietly. No applause, no shouting, just correction. 2 weeks later, I replaced the cut chain with a heavier one, not because I expected intrusion again, because boundaries deserve reinforcement. The workshop is quiet now. The saw hums when I need it to. The trailer sits where it always has, legally, properly, documented. Melissa drives through occasionally. She doesn't stop. I don't wave. I don't need to. The law did what it's designed to do. Slowly, precisely, without emotion. And that's the only kind of justice that lasts.